I'm out of ideas, which is a problem because at the moment each week I'm trying to make sure that I produce at least one really cool YouTube video where I'm exploring different LEGO photography techniques or going to some really extravagant location and shooting some epic landscapes. But with the cost of fuel being stupidly expensive and also waiting for a few collaborations to kind of fuel those projects, I'm left at home kind of stewing with all these ideas ready to go but can't really act on them right now. So this is going to force me to kind of make do with what I have. Now I've realized I've kind of put this pressure on myself to always be going out to these, extraordinary locations or putting a huge amount of effort into creating insane scenes that have these really intricate stories and, a whole list of ideas and shots and stuff like that. But I kind of just want to take this week to make something that feels natural and, I don't know, easy. So I was going for a run the other day and I stumbled across this spot which looked really cool. I don't know why I haven't really, paid too much attention to it before, but it's literally a 5 or 6 minute drive away from my house. It's got some really nice foresty looking area. It's kind of like a bushwalk here in Auckland, and I thought it'd be quite cool to shoot some photos there. So I think the best thing I can do is to go to this location and have absolutely no ideas, really. Just have a bunch of characters and just kind of go back to my original roots of how I used to shoot LEGO photography, which is literally take a character and just go to the location and make it up as I go, and not being so focused on having so many photos for the grid. Literally just create. That's what I want to do this week, and if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Especially with my large LEGO collection, I think it's kind of stupid to look at it and be like, oh, I don't have any ideas. I can create some ideas. I've got so many figures, I have no excuses, is basically what I'm trying to say. So let's pick out some LEGO figures. So I've got a bunch of 501st Troopers and got the iconic Captain Rex right here. I've wanted to shoot these guys for so long and I don't know why, but I've just put it off because I really want to do these figures justice, and if I don't do it right the first time I'll be afraid to do it. I just need to cut the fear out and just do it. That's the simplest way to do it. But the scary part of this whole thing is I need to go borrow some LEGO figures from my brother. We're gonna have to yoink some figures and hope he doesn't notice. So yeah, I think we've got all the figures we need for this shoot. I just want to keep this as simple as possible, really. If I'm being brutally honest, having quite a large following on Instagram, I feel like there's a little bit of pressure in the back of my mind all the time when it comes to posting, because there's, a lot of people looking at my work and I feel like I always have to deliver something great. So then I have this very extensive, thought out plan to make sure it doesn't fail, but then can be quite, scary when doing these shoots because I don't want them to fail, especially when I have it planned. So if I just remove all of that and focus on solely just getting great photos and enjoying it, I think that's the best way to get some cool photos. Just need some cool characters and just enjoy and have fun. Should be a good day tomorrow, and yeah, we're just gonna do our best to get some cool Star Wars photos and see what happens. Right, so the next thing I gotta do is pack for tomorrow. Gonna be taking the Insta 360 X5 with me. It's a 360 camera that can help just capture all my behind the scenes footage. It is so good because I can record myself and also what I'm shooting, which is just, technology is crazy. So that's going in the little bag. Extra batteries for the camera. Now I've been using this lens off and on. It's the 85mm, which is also a macro lens, which has always been really good for really close up shots of the figures. So I'm going to take that as well because I want to get some really dramatic shots of each character, see what I can do with this. And of course all the figures are going to go straight in the bag. And of course I'm taking my Canon R8 with a 28-70, which has always been really great for LEGO photography. Tomorrow should be interesting. I have high hopes despite not having a plan whatsoever. I think we'll get some cool photos, but so check in with you tomorrow. Alrighty, so I found this nice little spot and already my hopes are very high. I don't know why I haven't come to the spot sooner for photos, because there's just a whole diverse range of different spots and stuff that offer unique and interesting terrain that could work really well for these photos. And we've also got basically a gorge that goes through with a lake. So I reckon we're going to get some very cool photos in this spot. Captain Rex. Just as like a warm-up shot, basically. So I think this is like a really cool spot. Yeah. Let's see what dramatic photos we can get here. Nah, this is a boring spot. This is very boring. There's all these branches, look hella sick. And it's just finding a spot where he can balance like that. That looks kind of cool actually. Might remove that stick though. Could have put it above him. I need the sun. Yeah, that looks really cool actually. That looks pretty cool actually. It's like, has good dynamics. Let's see how high I can climb without hurting myself. Dude. Get it wide. Actually, through there is probably the best shot. Oh, it's very cool, that one. Would have liked to have the sun out. Still getting some nice images here. Cool. So move down a little bit. Looks like there's some good spots through here. Wondering if it's worth going down here. Let's do it. Getting the whole battalion out. It's about time. And I'm getting bitten by mosquitoes, great. Okay, we can definitely cook with this. So unfortunately we had to move from the original spot because there are now a bunch of kids there. So when you're a full grown adult and you have a camera in your hand, you don't necessarily want to be pointing it anywhere close to kids. We're going to try find a new spot and yeah, hopefully we can still get some cool photos. I think we got some cool photos with the Captain Rex and the whole 501st, troop. Interesting. I've never seen this before, but there's like a small school of fish you can just see there in the lake. I've never seen those fish in that pond before at all, out of the 15 years that I've been going in. Anyway, we're going to see if we can go down to here. Might be a good spot. See what happens. Please be worth it. Honestly need more light. I don't know why it's gone overcast now. I definitely think we can make this cool. Because that tree just, or that plant just behind it actually looks really thick. Make this as cool as possible. Okay, let's just get individual shots for now. Because those are easy enough to get. That's actually a cool angle. It's just trying to find a good composition is going to be the tricky part. Dude, what the hell? That looks incredible. That looks insanely cool. Alrighty, well, that definitely went a lot better than I thought it would. Despite all the mishaps within this shoot and not having any ideas or, you know, really a full plan and just choosing a bunch of figures I think really look cool and just, you know, going out and shooting, I think it went really, really well. After doing the, you know, really cool landscape of, you know, all the figures lined up on that tree, I then moved on to getting some solo shots where I got a few shots of like, you know, one of the clone troopers using, you know, a sniper rifle. Nothing too special, just trying to get cool individual shot. And then I moved on to probably one of my favorite photos out of the entire shoot, which was Anakin and Rex fighting some droids. And essentially the way I achieved the jumping effect with Anakin was very simple. I just used a clear Lego rod underneath him and then basically shoved it straight into the ground, and then later in Photoshop I masked around it and I used digital AI to remove the rod and, you know, give him the ability to float. I know AI gets a bad rap, but I simply use AI as a tool. I never use AI to add to an image. I usually use it to remove things. I can remove this rod very easily with my Photoshop skills, but just for time's sake, I use AI to remove it. And then when it came to the lightsaber, I had a whole bunch of different layers. The first layer being the actual lightsaber, which was, you know, just using the brush tool and getting the brightest color from that actual lightsaber, which obviously is blue, and just creating a nice straight streak. Then next I used a pure white brush to create that initial light. And then I would apply an additional brush to Anakin where, you know, just the light is actually interacting with the character, so it looks a lot more believable. And then I'd put the blend mode to a soft light just to make it look like it's an actual real lightsaber. And the effect, as you can see, is very, very cool. So yeah, that was probably one of my favorite shots from the entire shoot. And then just got some nice framing shots of R2-D2 and Anakin Skywalker just walking through the brush, and got, you know, the iconic and beautiful New Zealand ferns. And I use that as kind of like to shape a frame around these characters. And yeah, again, just simple shots, but just finding different and unique textures to create something interesting and unique to look at. And then lastly, I moved on to Captain Rex, which is where I switched over to the 85mm, just utilizing that macro feature and getting some really nice detailed shots of him just alongside a tree here. Again, utilizing those unique textures and doing a few black and white images as well. I think they're always really fun to do. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with this entire shoot. Despite having no plan, just a location and some figures, you can still accomplish something really cool. I think what I've learned is like, I need to put a little bit less pressure on myself to get, you know, a whole bunch of photos and images for a whole grid, you know? I think I really need to start honing in on quality over quantity, because I've definitely seen instances where I will try and capture as many great photos as I can, but overall the quality of them isn't the greatest. But in this scenario, when I kind of just, you know, hone in on a few key scenes, yes, I come away with, you know, less photos, but the quality of these photos are a lot better. It's definitely something I'm going to start implementing into my workflow. But yeah, I think the best advice I can give now is just, if you have some cool characters that you want to get great photos of, go and do it. Easier said than done, but this whole video was literally planned within 2 minutes. I was just like, I'm going to get up from my desk, I'm going to choose some characters and go out and shoot. No plan whatsoever, and I come away with some cool images. So yeah, definitely recommend just getting out there. That's the best advice I can give. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. Like, share, do all that good stuff, and I will see you hopefully in a more planned video next week. All the images that I took today are going to be on my Instagram, so feel free to check that out as well, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.